All right, welcome back. We are with Our Generation with Melissa Shaw, where I educate, empower, and inspire. And I am here with another amazing guest. Really excited about this, and you guys will know why. You have some great experience that you're going to share with us.
Thank you.
So I'm here at Farm Free Life, my most favorite coffee shop. I have my caramel apple cider with balance in it. So just they have hemp editions.
Mm,
So like stuff to
okay.
almost CBD, but a little bit better than CBD.
Okay.
Yep. So definitely come check them out. They're off of 82nd and Allisonville. And definitely come get you a drink. Apple cider is only it's limited to seasonal. So if you love apple cider, you definitely want to come try it out before it goes away. Because I literally drink it every time they have it, the whole time it's here, and then I'll switch to something else.
hmm
But yeah, well, we'll just get into it. So,
Okay.
hey Nathan, how are you?
I'm fantastic. I am
Yes,
feeling
we've
really
been
good.
trying to. I've been trying to get you on for a while. I know you probably
Yes.
thought I was playing, didn't you?
No, no, no. I knew eventually good things come to those who wait,
That's right.
So I
That's
just took
right.
that
Yeah.
attitude
So
about
just
it.
tell us your name and
Yeah.
your background and
Okay. Okay.
a little bit about
Well,
yourself.
my name is Nathan Williams. I have four children, if that's what you want to call it. They're all grown and out on their own, doing their own thing and paying their own rent and mortgages. Yay!
Yeah. Sorry, I always get nervous. Okay, I had to make sure it's on. One time
Okay.
I was recording and it wasn't turned on.
Oh my
So
goodness. Okay.
if I go
Thank you.
like that, don't worry. I'm just checking.
Okay. Good
Go
stuff.
ahead. Sorry.
Okay. All right. But yeah, I've lived in here since 1981. Originally from Ohio, so I call myself a Hoosier now,
Okay.
and it's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just been involved, a business owner for years, even before I got involved with Legal Shield. I was a business owner, to traditional business, should I say.
hmm
And
So what company? What kind of company did you own?
I owned a soul food restaurant. Yeah,
Okay.
I owned a soul food
Did you
restaurant.
cook?
I did some cooking. She did most of the cooking, but it
Okay.
was more of an investment
Okay.
into her business. And I was 49% partner and she was 51. But this
Nice.
is going to bring me to what I'm talking about today.
Yeah.
I didn't read my contract, or should I say, I didn't understand my contract.
Oh.
And after a $10,000 investment and getting started, and she said business was booming and things were really great. Once I actually made my investment and got started, I don't know if you're old enough to remember the Maytag man or not, but I felt
Uh.
like I was sitting there like the Maytag man, twiddling my fingers looking for some business, you know what I mean? And
Wow.
it wasn't happening. 12 months later, I end up out of business and
Mm.
out of $10,000.
Oh my goodness.
So
That's a
real,
hard lesson.
real hard lesson, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So getting involved with Legal Shield and seeing what they do and making seeing as a business owner that I can now get my contract read. I had unlimited business consultation. I had access to some of the top lawyers all over the country. It just made sense for me. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I got involved and it's just been a blessing on the business side and on the personal side to carry this membership.
Yeah.
So, and I've actually been involved with Legal Shield for 21 years now, and
What made you get started?
well, um, I was working with one of my coworkers. I was working with him, and he was talking about making some additional money, and he actually sold me a check for like over $2,000. And I asked him how did he do that, and he said, "Why don't you just come out and take a look at what I do, and if you're interested, great. If not." Came out, took a look at the information. It just made sense. One of the big things that got my attention was the estate planning.
Mm.
When I found out under this program, you can actually have your last will, living will, health care, and financial power of attorney done for no additional charge. It was just a no-brainer for me because I have three brothers and three sisters. My mother was divorced from my father, lived on her own. 1 week before Mother's Day in 1981, she had a stroke in her sleep and passed.
Mm.
We were not able to do a lot of things for her we needed to do because her will wasn't in place.
Wow.
And it took us about a year to get everything resolved. And
Oh
I had just
my.
swore that I never wanted to go through that again or see my family go through it again. And then when I saw the program, this program would actually do all that for no additional charge, it was a no-brainer to get involved. And then to find out all the other people that don't have their estate planning too, I started sharing and actually referring people. And the guy that enrolled me in the program was making all this money. And he said, Nathan, you might as well, be an associate yourself in shares and make some of this additional money.
Absolutely.
It just made sense. I got involved, and the rest is history. I was just looking, I said, well, it does make sense. I'm sharing anyway. And at the time, I needed a new car. So I said, if this will help me buy my new car,
Yeah.
I'm going to share the information, get me a new car with the information I'm sharing with the people enrolling. And I got involved. But it turned out to be so much more than that. And that's why I say I'm Legal Shield for life, because I started working it, and then I got to the point where I was making enough money that I cut back to part-time on my full-time job to work Legal Shield more. And then in 2019, I stepped away altogether because I actually started making more money part-time than my job was paying me full-time. So I don't need to be in here all night
No,
anymore. So it's a
absolutely.
win-win situation.
How many
It was a
wills do you
blessing.
think you've helped people create?
Oh my goodness, well over 100, well over 100.
Wow.
And I want to be transparent with you about something. Even though I got this program and to get my will and everything done for me and my wife, and I had all of it done, I just lost my wife for 41 years on December 5th of 2022. So it's been a little over 10 months now.
Wow.
And the truth of the matter is, she didn't have hers done.
Wow.
She had been putting it off. She had been putting it off and saying she was going to do it. And now I'm in probate court right now as we speak, after being married 41 years, fighting for things that should belong to me.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Some people think, oh, we're married, or oh, that's my mom or dad. It's not going to be an issue.
Oh,
It's going
boy.
to automatically come over to me.
Oh my God.
But you've actually lived it where, no, that is not
I
true.
lived it. I lived it. And the fact of the matter is, the American Bar Association said only 3 out of 10 people have their wills completed or updated. Only 3 out of 10.
Wow.
So Legal Shield is a perfect opportunity
Yeah.
to change those numbers. I feel like I'm on a mission
Absolutely.
to change those numbers. It's been, again, well over 100 people. I've been to people's houses and sat down and filled out the will questionnaire and got it mailed off and answered questions and whatever
Yeah.
stuff. And I'm not trying to say I'm a lawyer, and I'm trying to pretend to be a lawyer.
Right.
I've just done enough will questionnaires. I know what they're going to ask you.
Absolutely.
And I can really, if you know who you want to be your power of attorney and different things, we can fill out a will questionnaire in about 30 minutes.
Yeah. I
You know
think
what I
people
mean?
have this misconception of it's so
Yeah.
difficult.
Yes.
And I don't know what to say, or I don't know what to put on,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
or they may not even want to have that conversation, but it's so
Yeah.
important to, because
It is. It is.
what could be on the other side of it
Right,
to
exactly.
not have it.
And then, like I said, when you seen what I saw, where you got loved ones that don't even speak to each other, don't even celebrate birthday parties and Christmas or holidays, anniversary together, they couldn't come to an agreement on how things need to be done. I call it stop the fighting and put it in writing.
Yep.
Stop the fighting,
I
put it
love
in
it.
writing, do what you got to do, and make sure it's
Yeah.
there. You know what I mean? And make
Yeah.
it a win-win situation for everybody. So, yeah.
So,
Been a blessing.
what else do you feel like? What is one of your other favorite features of Legal Shield? I know there's a lot of them, but we all
Yeah.
kind of have a couple things that really speak to us.
I would say because it's now Legal Shield's on the app, so that means if you've got your phone with you, you got your law firm with you everywhere. It's the peace of mind that it gives you, that you don't have to worry about a high hourly cost. You've got attorneys with an average experience of 18 years available to you, that if necessary, in an emergency, you can call them 24 hours, 7 days a week for $1 a day membership. Unheard of.
That is.
It's
And that's
almost like, why
huge.
wouldn't you have Legal
No,
Shield?
absolutely. Like I was talking with somebody earlier today, and I'm like, we know what our rights are, but we can't exercise them.
Right.
Our rights are to be quiet and the
Right.
rights to an attorney.
Right.
They know that 90% of people will not have access to an attorney because of cost.
Exactly. You know
So
what I mean?
you basically gave me a right that I can't use.
Right. I mean,
And so now there's a product that allows you to exercise it. Like you said, it's just a no-brainer. Why would you
Right.
not want to have it?
why would you not have an attorney available to you? On the top of the Supreme Court building, it says equal justice for all. But if an average attorney is over $250 an hour, How do I get access to it? Why have a right if you can't exercise it?
That part. Yep.
Why have a right if you can't exercise? That's really what this boils down to.
Yeah.
We've got to have access. You've got to have those rights available to you and those attorneys available to you. And I get it because, again, I hear people say, well, Nathan, my brother or sister or relative or friend is an attorney.
Yeah.
I'm like, right, but one attorney can't do everything. It's about like saying you got a doctor.
Yeah.
Depends on what type of doctor he is. Do you want a foot doctor working on your arm?
Right. No, sir, I do not.
Okay. Then get the right attorney when you have a legal
Yeah.
situation, and that's what we offer you.
Yeah, because that could
Yeah.
cost you more money because they
Period.
might mess something up, and then
Period.
now you got to go back and redo
Right. Yeah. Make sure you got your will made out if you got a foot doctor working on your arm.
it. Right.
Okay?
Yep. So more on the
Yeah.
business side of it, like what's been your best month with Legal Shield?
Oh my goodness. My best month has been over $10,000 in 1 month.
How many
And
hours do you think you worked that month to get that?
to get that, I would say I still had my job, by the way, at the time I made that $10,000.
So
And I couldn't have worked enough hours on my job around the clock to make
okay.
$10,000.
Wow.
So it was a blessing. I say I normally work about 10 to 15 hours a week, try to, or somewhere like that, whatever. So most part-time jobs, after taxes, if most people are going to bring home $150, $200 at the most is what you're normally going to see.
So right.
So $10,000, stop and think about that. I mean, and their vacations and everything that they take me on
Yes,
because
okay. How many vacations have you been on
oh
that the
my
company's
goodness.
paid
Let
for?
me see. I know it's been over 10. I've been to Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. I've been to Mexico 2 or 3 times. We went to Hawaii last year. Just got back from Puerto Vallarta. We're going to Jamaica next year. Been to Los Angeles, California. They've taken me to Vegas.
Yeah.
And it was all paid for.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can't get no better than that.
And Melissa, is something about the food and the drink. They just taste better when somebody else is paying
Oh,
for it.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yes,
You know what I
sir.
mean?
Yep.
So it's a beautiful thing. I love it. And I don't really consider it work. I consider it sharing
Yes.
and getting people's questions answered so they can make their own informed decision. And that's what I do. And that's what I do every day. So I love what I do. I know we all need it. I know we all don't have excess. So this is something that just makes sense.
Yeah. And the market penetration is only less than 3%.
Less than 3%.
So there's still a lot of education, and it's a new concept when you think of it, because
really
people
is.
don't understand when you say, "Oh, you need a lawyer or have a law firm." Oh, I don't get in trouble. I don't need that. But when you start going down the list of things like identity theft, like your will, having 24/7 access,
Right.
If you feel like you've been a victim of someone mistreating you,
Exactly.
when you look at that, those are everyday things that people go through.
Everyday things, people. That with the advice or assistance of attorney could have bettered the outcome, yet we're not picking up that phone.
Yeah, and it could go from small situations to large situations. I know you had a situation with a car wash. Would you like to share that?
Wow. I'm not going to say the name, but for $39, you can go all day long, as many times as you like, and you never pay an extra penny.
Right.
Went through the car wash one day, got out to dry my car off a little better. When I came out of the car wash, emblem missing off my wheel, brought it to their attention. They apologized, wrote up a damage report, told me somebody would be in touch. Next week, I get a letter from the car washes, I guess, legal department or whatever, saying, we don't feel like that happened here, so therefore, Mr. Williams, we will not be replacing your emblem. I'm like, okay.
Right.
So I called my law firm. They asked for the address to the legal corporate office. They sent them a real nice motivational letter, I would say. I'll call it motivational letter. It basically said, according to Mr. Williams, and versus Cincinnati, 1989, section 6.2, you're responsible for that emblem coming off in your car wash.
Wow.
To this day, I don't know what that means, Melissa.
Right.
All I know is I got a phone call, an apology, and let's get that taken care of, Mr. Williams, and we're very sorry about that. I mean, it was only $79, but how many people gonna call a $200 attorney for a $79 problem?
How did that make you feel that you was able to exercise that right?
It was just powerful. I just stopped and thought about how many people every day get shortchanged, shorted, mistreated with no form of offense to go after.
Absolutely.
What are you going to do? Call a $200 attorney
No.
or a $79 fine, sometimes even smaller than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I actually had one of my business partners call the pizza place because they didn't want to replace the pizza that he got, and he said he don't eat pepperoni on his pizza. He
Mm.
called the law firm and they sent a letter to the pizza place.
Really?
They called, sent coupons, gave him more pizza, everything for pizza. Why not?
Why exactly?
Why
Why
not?
not? And you think about people that you know that are higher up and have money. They don't do anything without their lawyer. Best
Period.
believe if they feel like they've been
Period.
taken misadvantage, they're gonna
Period.
call their attorney immediately.
Immediately, and that's what they do. And the thing about it, if you stop and think about it, Melissa, every bill collector you got, your phone company, your mortgage company, all of them carry attorneys that we pay for because they're smart enough to take a little bit of
Yeah.
your money and set it to the side to make
Mhm.
sure they've got an attorney if they have a problem with you.
Exactly.
So why wouldn't we be smart enough to take a little bit of our money and set it to the side to make sure we've got an attorney?
Hmm.
So it just makes sense
Yeah, and I
again.
feel like the as the years go on, as technology starts, growing, and we move closer to, expanding on these things, like we're gonna probably need attorneys even more so years to come.
Yeah, period. It's going to come to a point now where you're almost not going to be able to move without an attorney or some
Right.
advice
Well, you
available
think
to you.
of we're never without insurance, car insurance,
Sure,
homeowners insurance, health
sure,
insurance,
sure.
life insurance. People are still iffy on the life insurance,
Period.
but
Mm-hmm.
and we hope not to use any of it.
Right.
So why wouldn't we want to have legal insurance? Even though we may not need to use it, but it's just that having that peace of mind like we do when we have homeowners insurance.
Exactly. And I remember a time when insurance was an option. You didn't have to carry it because people say, well, I don't plan on wrecking my car, but it's called accident,
Right.
something that didn't happen on purpose.
Yeah.
And people were having to pay a lot of money. So liability became a requirement because they were tearing up other people's
Yeah,
cars. If you don't want to
definitely.
get your car fixed, fine, but you're going to fix that car that you ran
Definitely.
into,
Like
especially
when
when
I
it's your
have,
fault.
yeah, when I had my car accident, actually yesterday was 2 years ago.
Wow.
Totaled my car. The guy that hit me had no insurance.
Wow.
And it could have really went left. I had got injuries, lost vision in my left eye.
Wow.
I have had to get my lens replaced. I had to have 3 surgeries total that resulted from that car accident.
Wow.
And not realizing how, we pay insurance.
Mm-hmm.
But it's even knowing what your policy is important.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important to have the lawyers review that policy.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Like I had uninsured insurance in there.
Okay.
And my insurance agent said that most people do not. And so because I had uninsured, even though he didn't have insurance, I was 100% covered.
Wow.
If I wouldn't have had that in there,
Wow.
I wouldn't have been covered.
Exactly.
And so it's just, even with that, I
Right.
didn't think I would ever get into an accident.
Sure.
But if I wouldn't have had it, I would have been so messed up.
Wow, that's huge.
Yep. And
That
even
is
I even
huge.
called the law firm and said, because of the extent of my injuries, I said, I need to know what I have rights to. Like, what is the level of my, settlement? Like, what should I expect? Because of course, insurance companies are going to lowball you.
Right. Sure.
But I needed to know what I need to know what the high one is.
Wow.
So, and they told
yeah.
me exactly what to say, what not to say, how to be prepared. I didn't have to utilize them, but just the fact that I could still call them and say, hey, I had this. I need to just make sure I'm prepared. And they was willing to share everything with me.
Okay, that's huge.
It is.
That's huge. What a blessing.
Yeah, but think we wouldn't have had if I wouldn't have had access to it. If I would have had the same frame of mind of I don't get into accidents.
Did you realize you had uninsured?
I did not until it happened.
Wow.
And so my dad, he was a smart man. He's been gone for about 5 years, and he set all of our policies up.
Okay.
And he set it up that way. And so I've been with the same insurance agent since I started driving.
Wow.
And so the insurance agent told me that. He was like, well, that's what your dad had on his policy. And when he got all yours policy, we just carried the same ones over.
Makes sense. Just made sense.
But again, it's that knowledge, it's knowing.
Knowing, knowing, and then you know, they say education is important, it's expensive, but ignorance costs you twice as much.
Absolutely.
So you truly need to know what's going on and
Yes.
what to do.
Yep.
So
I would say it's
yeah,
better to be proactive instead of reactive.
thank you,
Because when we're reactive, we spend too much money and we make horrible decisions.
thank you,
Because of being in
thank
that
you,
moment, we're not going to make,
thank
even with
you.
not having a will or
Right,
not having a power of attorney.
right.
You know, what if you're, and I've talked to business owners, you're a business owner and you get incapacitated.
Mm-hmm.
How's your business going to run?
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to be able to go to the bank for you? Who's going to be able to
Mm-hmm.
make sure people get paid if you don't have
Mm-hmm.
those things put in place?
Wow, that's right. I mean, it just makes so much sense. I'm so comfortable with it. I share all the time. When
Yeah.
I'm out and about, I just share all the time. I keep my cards with me all the day wherever I went. I call it the 2 feet rule. If you
Okay.
come within
2 feet
2 feet
of
of me, you are getting a card, and I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you about. I'm your legal shield man.
Yeah. So
So I love it.
how do you approach people and talk to them about it?
I'll just say hello, and I'm complimentary, and then I just say if ever I can help you with anything, please just take my card and uh, and call me. You know what I mean? We got a nationwide network of attorneys to do a special program that we do a lot of stuff for less than $1 a day. And they go, oh, really? They
Yeah.
look at the card again after I say that. And the American Bar Association said 50% of all people got a legal situation going on right now that with the advice of attorney can better the outcome. That means half of everybody I meet, whether they tell me or not, got a legal situation going on
Yeah.
where
And
Legal
sometimes,
Shield could help them.
yeah, sometimes you have a legal situation and you don't even know it is a legal situation.
Wow, how about that?
You know, like I just recently learned by a client that had found this out is, you know, if you leave an apartment complex and they don't give you your deposit back after 30 days, they owe you double.
Wow.
It's a law.
Wow.
And so they was able to write a letter. The attorneys was able to write a letter, and she got double her deposit.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that but we would have never known that if we didn't have access. How many
That's
people
huge.
didn't get their deposit back?
Thank you for that information. I'm talking to a bunch of my members all the time, calling me, complaining that they didn't get their deposit and they got
Yes.
issues going
And there's a
on.
law out there that
Wow.
protects them that nobody knows.
Wow. So I learned something today.
Yeah, and we do. We absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I
That's great.
appreciate you coming.
Yes, thank you.
This has
Thank
been
you for
great.
having me.
I respect
you.
you. You have a lot of knowledge in the
Thank
business,
you.
and I see what you're doing. And
Thank
you
you.
know, I love your passion, especially when it comes to the wills and making sure everybody's protected. And
Thank you.
that's what I love about this company is we get to work with people like you,
Thank
and
you.
be surrounded by people that we
Thank
all
you.
have that same mission. We all
Thank you.
want people to just be able to live a better life.
Thank you. And Melissa, I appreciate you for having this program and this show to get out there and put the word out because we all need to know, we all need to have access to what we've got going on and what we're doing. And
Absolutely.
this is really making a difference.
Yep.
So I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank
very
you.
much.
So this has been
Thank
Melissa
you.
Shaw with Our Generation, where we educate, empower, and inspire. Now, y'all know I've been talking about Legal Shield all on my shows, but I had to bring in a special person just to really talk about because he has the experience, he has the knowledge, just to show you guys that this is a real program. This is something that literally is changing lives. Not only just by being able to exercise our rights, but even living our lives. Making $10,000 in one day. Can y'all imagine that? That is powerful. And you get to do something that you enjoy. Like, how many people go to their jobs and work and hate their jobs?
Right.
I can't even imagine
Right.
that. Literally, I'm working and you spend most of your time at your job anyway.
Right.
So
Right.
being able to find something, so if any of you are out there that just have a heart to serve and want to be part of a network and a program and a group of, like, the company has been around for 52 years and they're not slowing down.
That's right.
We just left a leadership summit a couple weeks ago and they just put almost over about $10 million in the field.
$10 million.
Like, what company does that?
Right.
And we're on the risk of a recession, and they were like, okay, but and they don't have no debt.
Right.
Like,
I've got some new associates that are actually making over $1,000 in the first 45 days with this business and got promoted twice. Santa Claus is going to be in town pretty soon.
Yep.
I think you need to give Melissa a call.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, sir. And we are
Thank
out.
you.
Okay.